YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. I apologize. This ain't the normal way I do a video. Hopefully it won't be too shaky. I'm going to try my best not to. But I have to point the camera at the computer screen because I'm using a different computer to run this software. Now, if you have one of my interface boards, whether it is the interface board for the Bridgecom or you have an interface board for the Retevis RT97S or the L or even the Midland MXR10, you can use the Simplex software not only as repeater ID, but you can also use it as a parrot to record and play back to test your repeater, whether you're testing the distance of your repeater and you don't need another person to help you. That's the beauty of this. And this is what I kind of do in my videos when I do distance tests. So I'm going to show you how to set this up. It's really simple. You get the Simplex software at my forum. I'll post that link down below. If you're interested in my interface board, I'll show you that here in a minute. I will also post that in the description below. Like I said, this software does repeater ID and it can do a parrot also. But my interface board can do much more. It can do weather announcements. It can do Zello. It can do repeater ID. It can do a secondary announcement. It can do many different things. I'm going to show you how to do the parrot and the repeater ID in this video. So the first thing we got to do is we got to go to File, and at the end of the recording, we want to change this to a 0.5. This, when you have your squelch tail turn on your repeater, we don't want to record that and keep playing it back and forth. So this cuts that off. Also what helps is if you're going to be doing this parrot or recording and playing back, when you key up your repeater, wait 0.5 or a half a second, then talk into it. That way, when it does cut off the end of the conversation, because that's what this function does, you won't cut off your words. Okay? So it works really well. So we got to set that. The mode, we want Simplex. We want to immediately replay back after it's done recording. And then we're going to go to detection and we're going to set for COM ports. Since we're using my interface board, we can use COM ports. We're not using any type of Vox. Everything else we don't have checked. Everything else is the way you see it here is what you have here. Repeater on left channel, set priority on repeater, all that, okay? Now, configuration. This is where you do your repeater ID if you choose to. Now, when I make my videos, obviously I don't want my repeater ID going off, so I uncheck this box. But you check this box here, you put 15 minutes, and then you select your WAV file that has your repeater ID, whether it's your call sign in Morse code or you have a recording of it. That's how you do your repeater ID. And your repeater ID will still work when you're in the parrot mode. Okay, so the sound card, I like to select the USB sound card. My interface board, you have to plug in a USB sound card, so you make sure you select that in here, like I did, like you see here. COM ports, we're going to go to COM port, we're going to select, and this is the COM port that you're going to select that your USB to DB9 is plugged into. You need that cable for my interface board, so make sure you select that. In my case, it's COM port 3. PTT configuration. What you see here is how we're going to have it set. We're going to have it PTT equals RTS, and nothing else is checked. And the squelch, we don't have to worry about that. And I set these delays at 100 milliseconds here and here. This one right here, nothing's checked here. And, oh, there's my repeater ID. So, and it says down, let me turn that down. It says down there when it's doing the repeater ID, as you can see here at the very bottom, it says that. So now, once we're done with that, now we got to turn on, as you heard the repeater ID worked, but we don't have parrot turned on yet. So, before I turn it on, you look over here in the status box. We want you to make sure the mode says Simplex, detect radio, and then in this case I do have my repeater ID on, so this is also on right here. To turn on the parrot, we just hit auto to on. Now, if you got to change configurations, you got to turn that off. Another thing, too, once you get this set up, make sure you go to File and Save Configurations so that you have it saved for when you start the program again. So it's all you got to do. Now, if I don't want the parrot on, you make sure the auto says off. Your repeater ID will still work. But I want the parrot on, so we're going to turn this on. So now I'm going to take a handheld, and I'm going to key up. But when I key up, once I press that button, I'm going to wait a half a second, because remember, we selected that over here. Okay? So I don't want to cut off my last words. So I'm going to key up this radio. When I'm done talking, I'll put the radio by the microphone, and you get to hear how it sounds. Radio check. We are testing the Simplex repeater software setup and parrot mode. Test 1 2 1 2.
Radio check. We are testing the Simplex repeater software setup and parrot mode. Test 1 2 1 2.
There you go. Sounds really good. This works really well to do your distance testing without having to get another person. Now, when I'm done using the parrot, I just want the repeater ID, I just turn this off. Now we're back to repeater ID, which goes off every 15 minutes for the GMRS version. This can be used as for a ham. You just change it to 10 under the configuration right here. Changes to 10 minutes if you're doing ham. But make sure you check that box if you want to use repeater ID. Then you got to make sure you make a WAV file, which is, I've got a lot of videos on YouTube how to do that. But now I turned off my repeater or my parrot mode. It's on off. So now it will not record and play back. So that's how simple it is. Now the interface board I'm talking about, I'm going to show you here. I'll post this link in the description below. Bear with me. This is the interface board that I'm talking about. It's a plug and play right into I'm using the Retevis RT97S. This interface board right here, what you see will work with if you get the version 2 model, will work with the Retevis RT97S, the L model, and the Midland MXR10 model. If you have the Bridgecom repeater, that's another interface, a different interface board that's on my website. This parrot repeater setup will work with that also. So that's what it is. That's what you got right here. Really simple. Plug and play. Here's the USB DB9 I was telling you about that you got to plug in, that I selected in just a little bit ago to COM port 3. And here's my USB sound card that the interface board hooks up to, and that's it. And I'm using a mini PC, which is actually back way down there. You can kind of see it there. That's what I'm running this on, and it works great. So there you have it. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have yourself a good day.